Stop everything you're doing, because this one could shake the very foundation of India's economic future. The US Senate just introduced the Hire Act, and if it passes, it slaps a brutal 25% outsourcing tax on American companies sending jobs overseas. This is a deeply concerning development for our industry. Gentle reminder, a lot of time, research, and effort goes into bringing you these updates, so your subscribe and like means real support for this channel. You heard that right, a staggering 25% tax. And guess who's the biggest target? India's $250 billion IT industry, which earns over 60% of its revenues from US clients. Infosys, TCS, Wipro, HCL, all of them are in the firing line, facing unprecedented margin pressure. This directly impacts their market valuations and future growth projections. This proposed legislation reflects a rising tide of protectionism in America. For IT professionals, this means potential shifts in project pipelines and a need for strategic reskilling. Investors must consider the immediate and long-term implications for their portfolios. Now, before panic sets in, remember this. Indian IT firms are not just coders for hire. They are global giants with 250 plus billion in exports, employing 5 million people and driving digital transformation for Fortune 500 companies. However, if this tax passes, margins will shrink, US clients will renegotiate contracts, and India's cost advantage could collapse. This scenario demands a careful market analysis. The million-dollar question is, will the Hire Act even pass? Political experts suggest it faces steep hurdles in the US Congress. Yet, even if the act fails, the sentiment shock alone could hit Indian IT stocks short term, as Nifty IT is already underperforming with spiking volatility. For investors, here's the critical play. Giants like Infosys and TCS may face significant pressure, impacting their stock performance. However, mid-cap IT firms and those actively diversifying beyond the US, like Coforge or LTIMindtree, could weather the storm better. Long-term, India's IT sector must strategically expand into Europe, Asia, and emerging markets to mitigate US dependency. This isn't just about a tax. It's about the future resilience of India's digital backbone. We must remain vigilant and adapt. This situation demands our collective attention and strategic foresight. If you're an IT professional, assess your skills and consider diversification. If you're an investor, reevaluate your portfolio for resilience. Like this video to acknowledge the gravity of this situation, subscribe for continuous no-nonsense market analysis, and share your thoughts on how India's IT sector should respond to this evolving threat.